the Hittites, the Hivites, the Perizzites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Jebusites see the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth will go into the Jordan ahead of you. Now then, choose 12 men from the tribes of Israel, one from each tribe. And as soon as the priests who carry the ark of the Lord of all the earth, set foot in the Jordan, its waters flowing downstream will be cut off and will stand up in a heap. Suddenly Joshua has confidence. Why does Joshua have confidence? Because he's heard from God. He's followed the presence of God. The Ark of the Covenant is with them. He heard from the presence of God, and he was able to stand up, and he was able to bring clear direction. Church, whatever season of life that we're in, when we're searching for direction, when we're searching for ways to go, we need to get into the presence of God, amen? We need to create time to be in his presence. Should never grow old of being in the presence of God. Searching his heart, searching his mind, knowing his ways. That's what Joshua did. And now he begins to declare it and he begins to speak out. And this takes me to my final point. We need to step in. Look at verse 14. Let's finish this story off. And so when the people broke camp to cross the Jordan, the priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant, this weighty ark, went ahead of them. Now the Jordan is at flood stage all during harvest. Yet as soon as the priests who carried the ark reached the Jordan and their feet touched the water's edge, the water from upstream stopped flowing. Incredible, eh? Incredible story. Incredible story of this moment. But I wonder if you can just for a moment imagine this scenario. Just in your mind, if you can, imagine this scenario. The priests are carrying the ark. Carrying the ark, it's heavy. It's bulky, there's a weight to it. They've got all the rules around it and they're nervous and they recognize the weight and the privilege of carrying this ark to the water's edge. And you can imagine the priests, they get to the water's edge and they've got this fast flowing stream and it's at flood stage. That means it's big and it's fast and it's flowing. And they get to the water's edge and they're kind of standing there and they're like, okay, God, now would be a really good time to stop the water. Now would be a really good time. If you could just back the water up. We've seen you do it with the Red Sea. Could you just back the water up? And now would be a really good time for you to do it. But Joshua, you can almost have to remind them, God didn't say, get to the edge of the water and then I'll back the floods up. No, he says, you got to step in. You got to have faith. You got to put one step into the water and then I will stop the flood. Then I will stop the water up. Man, you can imagine those guys scratching their heads and they're like,